All right, morning, everybody. All right, so today we're gonna talk about the market. So I'm gonna go over the ES, the feature here. This is basically represent the SPY. I'm gonna go to daily. Friday we have a nasty sell-off. Thursday we have a very good rally after the Fed announcement. Right, this is where the Fed announcement right here on the 320, and then at the end of the day just sell off again, and then it's kind of creating right there in the middle. um Thursday I wasn't expecting it's going to be rallying all the way up, to be honest. This is considered as a bullish, and I was thinking that after the Thursday close, I'm thinking the market will go up again a little bit right in this area. But I guess something happened in euro. There's a news like 5 o'clock our time, or United States time. I don't know if it's Eastern time or Pacific time, but the news of German PMI, I think, is worse than expected, and it just basically sell off. So now, where do we stand from here? Is this consider? Are we going to be balanced? Are we going to be more downside? Because the volume it's big, right? On the sell-off side, I mean, it's always been. If you look at this, even like back in December, and the sell-off it's kind of nasty. Look at this, right? Just keep drop, right? 1 day bounce, 2 day bounce, and then just sideways and then another drop again. In my opinion, I don't think we will go back to the December until this down on Friday is confirmed, which means if Monday we have another nasty sell-off again, and that will be a kind of confirmation for us that there's going to be a more bigger selling is coming. However, if we look at this, and this is the SPY is already broke from Fed day low and also on Thursday low. So this is considered as a bearish at this moment. Okay, if we look at the QQQ is still, which is represent Nasdaq, it's still valid because the support, the resistance that was broke is become a support. Okay, if you don't know support resistance, take a look back again to the weekly call number 2. We went over the support and resistance. This is the resistance that was broken, and it went up, and it's bullish. Nasdaq is still considered bullish right here. Okay, now until this broken and we basically breach to the support again, then we are having a correction. Okay, at this moment it's still bullish. SMH, which is represent semiconductor. We talk about this. We talk about tagging the 110, which is it did. It broke the resistance as well on this red downturn, right? And now we're still up, so it is still considered as bullish. We still haven't broke the support yet. What else? IBB. Oops, if I can type that, which is the biotech. This is never breached the resistance, so it going back again to the lower end of the range. This is the same as IWM. So let me go back to the IWM. IWM is something that I'm really concerned. We talk about this on the weekly call number 4. It never breached, and it's always lagging. And then we basically sell off. It hit the downtrend resistance, and then we sell off pretty big. This is kind of the biggest. This is the one that basically pulled back the whole market pretty quick on Friday. We broke the support here. We broke the support here. We broke the support. So it is a nasty sell-off on this guy. Now, my question is, where are we going from here? Are we going to be in the bearish territory? Not yet. I don't think we are. The overall market is mixed, so we just have to see what's going to come next week. Just be careful if you're going to be in the long side. If the market selling off, just pay attention where the support. I really like the IWM until 144 right here. before I trigger some long. Okay, this might be the same area where the SPY is going back and hit the support of the break. So let's see where we are here. It's interesting. The ES. Let me take a look at the ES here. I look at the ES more than the SPY. It looks like it's broken, but the ES, if you look at that, we're basically sitting at the support. Okay, so at least as IWM is gonna be probably the same as QQQ then. Okay, if Monday and next week we're gonna have another sell-off again, I'm expecting NASDAQ will hit this and then it's gonna bounce. So you have to know IWM and NASDAQ, which one that you have to choose if you want to go long. I'm gonna choose NASDAQ because why? This is still considered as a bullish. It broke the resistance. IWM is basically just a lagging part. But of course, I'm not gonna close my option to do long on IWM as well because why? If it's gonna bounce, it's gonna bounce, regardless, right? So I think the market will be in oversold territory at that time when we're seeing that support. Now SPY, if that broke, so that's mean we're gonna be going into this lower end, well, not lower, the other range here, right? So the next support, it's gonna be this guy, the 272. So that's like a 7-point lower. Okay, what else? We talk ODIA. Okay, Dow Jones. Okay, we also never touched the resistance, right? We never broke that. So now it basically going down. This is going to be the next target, 252 as usual, and then the other one, which is this guy, 249. Let me keep having a habit here, forget to check alert. So at least I don't have to monitor it every day. Okay, I'll go back and then check the other one as well, the IWM. Any questions so far?
Good so far.
I guess my question would be, so you think semiconductor is pulling up the NASDAQ then?
You're asking if there's going to be a potential to buy from there?
No, I'm asking if the semiconductor industry is what's keeping the NASDAQ up? Like,
no, they're not related. They're basically two different sectors, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's two different sectors. The SMH more like the AMD, NVIDIA, Micron, AMAT, right? All those semiconductor part. Now for the NASDAQ, it's more like Facebook, Apple. Oh, Apple already moved to Dow, I guess. Facebook, Netflix, Amazon, all that big tech company.
And this, what you're looking at, SMH, this is the semiconductor right now.
Correct.
And how do you feel about this?
And QQQ, NASDAQ are bullish at this moment. They haven't broke their support yet, based on the Friday sell-off.
Not even the resistance, right? It's still above resistance.
We hit the resistance at 110 at that point, right? Now it's pulling back. But if you look at the red line right here, which is the downtrend, we broke that right at this right here at this point, and then that's why I told the group, hey, I'm bullish on SMH. The target was 110, right? So that's basically achieved. Then now this downtrend line is become a support now. If the market will go down, let's say next week, then this 105, it's a support. It's something that you need. You want to monitor and you want to watch if you want to buy long.
Gotcha.
Okay, if it's still breaking and if it's breaking, then get out, and then because it might be another big sell-off come in at 100.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the next report.
Okay.
100 to 99.90. Yeah. Okay. Good question though. Dave, questions?
Yeah, I had to unmute. So when you say still bullish because it hasn't broken support yet, how far do you go back to judge that? Like a 5 day or 3 months?
I normally just looking at the daily. I mean, you can also look at the weekly, right? The daily, it consists 1 year chart right here. I'm just looking at 1 year chart. I mean, you can also look maybe a couple months, right? But it's better to look at the bigger picture so you can see what the previous data looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if you look at the weekly, let's say the daily on 1 year is not enough, then you can look at on the weekly. In this weekly, I set up as a 2 years chart. And you can see this top right here, there's been a lot of consolidation. There's a lot of volume here, right? It's been just sideways, chop, 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 and then pull back. And then now we're back to that area again. Now we're getting that sell-off.
Gotcha.
The people that sell in this area, they're basically trying to defend this area. Otherwise, they have to cover their short basically. Now,
right, so they don't want it to break resistance there.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to lose money. Now they either double down, right, or either they basically, hey, I'm gonna add more, whatever the resistance here. So, as I mentioned, it's a good example right here. We broke 110 just a little bit by 50 cents, I think, and then after that, sell off on the next day. Pretty good. So now it's almost creating like a topping tail, but this is a good pullback.
All right.
4 point right there. So, all right. So now I want to talk about a couple stock, if you allow me here.
Yes, please.
WTW, Weight Watcher. I like this. You just keep going up, right? When I think Dave bought it at around this area. I think the 19 is still good support. I'm gonna also look next week if this is not pulling back based on the market sell-off. I probably want to get. I want to get in as well, because when it bounces, this thing will bounce as well.
Yeah, I got 1915.
1915.
Yeah, and I think it bottomed at 1912. So.
Yeah, 1904 something. I put 1907. It hit, and then I put 1907 again as my alert. It's kind of tough to manage and monitor a lot of trade. That's why I use the alert. The other thing is STNE. I like this stock. It's not pulling back a lot like the rest of the stock, right? But we'll see. I do sell straddle here, which is 50 call and 50 put. Now, if this thing basically going back to 38, that's where I'm gonna start losing money by May. I'm selling on May options. If this thing start going up, and then let's say it's reaching out to the 50 area, then I'm gonna collect almost like probably a couple hundred. So this is by May though, so I still have time. What else? Any stock that you guys want me to look at?
Let me look at my list.
Well, Levi is pre-IPO. This is what Heather bought. 17 now is still holding the 22 as an open IPO. So we'll see where's this stock going. I think if it's breached 22, and then they go down to the 17, that would be a good buy. A good buy, I would say. Gold. I do love gold here. Who doesn't, right? It's it seems like it's creating a bullish mark. I think any pullback here, as long as it doesn't breach 121, it's a buy. Definitely is a buy. And let's say if it pull back to 122, I'm gonna buy this. Either you can create the credit spread, you're selling 121, or maybe you're selling 120 or 120.50, so at least a little bit further away from 121 to 120 or 119. You collect that credit premium, or you can just buy the long call, let's say by January 2020. So, all right, Jason, you have the stock that you want to take a look?
Stock? Actually, no.
Okay. Well, I do have one. BA. BA broke the support here. 363, 364. Now, where BA do you think will go? The next support.
What was that 320-ish?
Yeah, so it's gonna be somewhere around this area right here, 328. I don't know why I put this in 321, but I'm gonna adjust that. I'm gonna mark it 330. So at least.
Okay, I want to change my answer to 330.
Right there. Where's my 328?
Yeah, BA was interesting for a while. There was a lot of volume before, after earnings, and then after all this, no, not earnings, but the accident, how it kept rebounding. I was watching it for a while, and then the volume started dipping, and just not enough action anymore. So I stopped trading Boeing.
Yeah, I think the news for this company is not done yet because a lot of now there's more and more a lot country that basically either they put in the flight in suspend mode, or they basically like Indonesia. I think I saw a news they're canceling their order for 737 Max or something like that. Yeah, so I think Boeing will continue to sell off. This is just my humble opinion. I mean, it might go down here to 350 right here. You can see there's also support right here, right? So this is something that you might want to look. For me, if this 350 touch, then I already know like my next support will be like around 330, 328. Then I can start selling a credit put here on the bottom, because if it's just gonna be like bouncing from 350, then I don't lose any momentum, right? Or if it's gonna go sideways, I'm gonna still making money. Or if it's gonna keep going down and drifting, at least it doesn't reach this area and expire worthless, I'm still collecting my premium. So there's a multiple ways that you can play with this. Yeah, this will be a next something that I'm gonna watch next week as well. Let me write it down before I forget. What else? Facebook. I look at this guy. Give me about 1 minute, and then after that we'll go with Jason sharing his stuff. Facebook, I think it will keep going down to 158. This is just basically based on speculation if the market's gonna still going to sell off. Then after that, it's probably gonna go gap fill here 150. I'm expecting to get this, and then I'm gonna go long, or I'm gonna sell the credit put. So something to watch there, basically. 150 is a gap fill. Before I lose that, let me mark it. Okay. All right, Jason, we're gonna go to you. I'm gonna make you a presenter, or do you want to use my computer and then you just explain it from there?
Actually, I have a spreadsheet. That's why that I use.
Okay. So we just gonna make you as a host.
Okay.
Then you can share
How do
your
I do
screen.
this? Share screen. Entire screen.
All right, excellent. I can see it now.
Okay. I guess I'll use Weight Watchers as an example. Well, you guys wanted to know how I do 1%.
Yes, sir.
It's not really a formula or anything. It's kind of a rule that I've heard. You know, as long as you make 1% per day, I mean that's good enough, right? Like, don't be greedy. Just take your profits for the day. But as far as like picking stocks, and I basically use TradingView, and of course I have a watch list already. I don't know if you guys used TradingView before, but you can have a watch list here and kind of scan through everything. And basically, when I'm scanning, I'm looking for anything that's obvious as far as like resistance and support levels. So for instance, let's do Weight Watchers. So I'm looking at the 5-day trend. I'm backing out a little bit. So previously it used to swing between, what is this, 1922 to 1992 during 6, 7, 8, 11. So during that time, this is a support level, which it is right now, yeah, now that we know. So what I would do is I'll draw the lines for the supports and then the resistance, and then I actually put it in a spreadsheet. I don't know if nobody taught me to do this. I just did it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I put a bunch of formulas in here. So I put the current price. So current price is 1938. I go in my spreadsheet under current 1938, and then I put down where I'm going to come in. So when it hits support and then it starts bouncing up, so that's basically what my entry is 1920, 1922, let's say. Oh, I'm sorry, not stop loss. So entry 1922, keep it at that. And then my target is going to be whatever the resistance is, 1991.
Okay.
So my spreadsheet already calculates what the potential profit is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
If I hold it and I let it ride for that whole time, it tells me where to exit. Here's my stop loss. And my stop loss is calculated by, it basically takes the potential and divides it by 5. And then I'm willing to risk 1/5 of that amount. And that's my stop loss. And then I'll put in, see, the other thing that I don't think is typical with most people is I don't diversify. I just dump all my money in one stock, which is, I don't know. It's just what I do. So let's say, for example, you had $10,000, or let's say $11,000. Everything changes. It tells me how many shares I can purchase with that amount, what my potential risk is, and what my potential profit is if it goes 3%. And then I put these little colors in here. This, if it goes green, then it's reaching close to resistance or support. So it's something I need to watch out for. If it goes below, I think I put in 1% or 1 point something. So then I'll put it on my watch list. I'll put it on the top of my list and I'll watch it. So if it starts bouncing back up, then I start purchasing it. Oh, and when I do purchase, I purchase at right before closing bell the previous day. That way, if you do sell it and you make your 1% within the first 15, 5, 10, 15 minutes from opening, then you can just sell it and not be flagged as a day trader. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So quick question, Jason. Just
Yes.
so let's say you have that WTW, right? You already set up 1938 as the current price. Entry is 1922, right? Stop loss is 1909 based on this spreadsheet, right? You already know where the target. So this is good. You already know where's to entry, exit, right? What's your target, right? Now, do you also make like target 1, target 2, or target 3 based on your 1% or more than 1%?
No, as soon as I make my 1%, then I end up selling.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, it's not really a system. I'm kind of learning as I go.
No,
But
this is you basically already you basically discipline yourself. You already know, you basically teaching yourself to know what to get in, right, or where to get in at one point, right, based on support, resistance, and then you already have all the information in front of you. Either you cut loss or you're making money. That's it. That's pretty much a game on the Wall Street. Okay, now the other question I have for you, for that green, is that something that you color it yourself?
No, it's if it's close. So if the current, let me look at it. If the current price,
oh, I see, C6 divided by G6. Okay.
So I actually made these other columns. So yeah, it looks at what the difference is, and then it makes a calculation based off of where it's at right now. And then if it's the closer it is to 0, then the closer it is to my entry level.
Yeah.
Basically, yes.
Okay.
So that's something that if it's at 0 already, then I'll put it on the top of my list. Then after that, I'll have like my 6 or 10 stocks I'm watching for the day. Then I'll go into Think or Swim, and then I'll start putting it in here. And I'll just leave it for the next day. Then I'll keep watching it.
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
But yeah.
Now, you know that based on this, what I can think of, you can also expand it. I know a friend that basically do an automate trade. So shoot, we only have 10 minutes. Anyway, automate trade means that you already know to entry, you already know where to stop loss and all that stuff. The system or the broker, you can automate that, and then you can insert that information automatically to the broker, and it will execute for you.
Is that with Ameritrade or a special type of
he was using, I gotta ask him, I think he was using Ameritrade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's amazing that you can automate that, but the problem is, of course, it's all depending on the market, right? The bigger picture, if the market basically starts selling off, of course your stop loss will get hit right away, right? So
yeah,
there's a pro and there's a con between the automate system.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Even though I have everything on spreadsheet, man, intuition or emotions start kicking in, and you think your 1% is good, then how many times already that it's gone above that, or how many times it went below my stop loss and me not selling. So
yeah,
that's kind of what holds me back, is the emotion part too.
Of course. I mean, you gotta, like Friday, when I enter SPY call.
Did it again?
Go ahead, Dave.
There. Oh, am I not on mute? My bad. No, I don't have a question. No,
you don't have a question? Okay.
He's over here banging his head into the side of my part, trying to get hurt.
Yeah, SPY call, it was kind of against me for a while. I think it was about 20 minutes to 25 minutes before they start rallying up. But I know it hasn't breached the support yet, so that's why I was holding it. So yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just depends. So
Yeah.
But I like it. So in terms of the chart, do you also looking at like 1 minute chart or maybe 5 minutes chart before you entry?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I seen somebody else do this. So like I'll watch the 1 minute chart and at the same time I'll watch the 5 minute chart to kind of get a better feel of what the overall market's doing. Well, this might be a bad example because it's not live. So let's say, for instance, I'll watch this because you can't really tell with 1 minute chart. I'll look at the 5 minute chart to get a better feel.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at the 5 minute live chart, I'll start seeing, I mean, it kind of looks similar to the 1 minute, but I think the 5 minute kind of groups it better. So
yeah, 1 minute is too fast, to be honest with you. 5 minutes or 15 minutes are the best because that will give you a better long-term, I will not say a long-term, more like a better time to see like where the market will go up based on that 5 and 15 minutes.
Just more data, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically more data.
Yeah.
Yeah, data's good.
I think if I may make some suggestion, you also want to add overall of the whole market into your chart here, because if you execute it based on the stock itself, you're not gonna know like how the whole market is doing, right? I mean, it could be selling off pretty big, and then you enter it, but you enter it on the wrong timing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's just something else to consider before buying or selling. Kind of like how you mentioned the RSI. That I put that into consideration too now.
Yeah.
Before actually getting in. But yeah, no, I'll definitely start monitoring these.
No, it's good. I like it. It's perfect. So
cool, man. Thank you. Oh, I have a little chart here too. So supposedly if I do hit 1% per day, like if I had 11,000, then in a month I should make 2,500.
Yep. You're doing the compound?
I don't know about compounding. I just do the value times 1.01, and then I just add that and then times it again by 1 point.
But there's no compounding on that one. Okay. Well, it is considered as a compounding, right? Because your value is based on the next profit. I'm sorry.
Yes.
The profit is added into the capital and creating more than 1% as well.
Yes. If there was a way to do
reality, you're not going to use the whole capital at one shot.
Well, yeah, I do though.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I shouldn't. Yeah.
Just be careful though, because if the market pull back and let's say you're on the wrong side of trade, you don't have another capital to add more or buy more, right? So
yeah.
That's something that I would recommend as well.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right.
Either you have to cut loss or you have to play a hope game.
Yeah, either way, I hate being in those positions.
Yeah.
But I still find myself in those positions whenever I let emotion take over.
Yeah, that's my position. Slowly working out of it.
Yeah. And then Dave, just out of curiosity, do you also buy one stock with the whole capital, or do you normally slice them up?
No, I split it up. So
basically
mine is just I split it up.
You do?
So
okay.
Basically with me, yeah, I just look at what has the hype and the news around it, and I bought on that like a year ago before I knew what I was doing, and now I'm reevaluating everything.
Okay.
This.
Good. No,
so
I think that's good.
Sonos on my hand that I bought at $12.50.
And also, just I think we only have about 3 minutes here before the meeting is ended. The other thing that I just want to remind you guys, remember we talked about the the IRA,
Mhm.
the traditional and to Roth IRA conversion.
Right. Yeah.
It's gonna be in April 15. So if you guys wanna create that account and contribute, you still have time. Don't wait last minute though, because you have to fill out the paperwork.
That was $1,000 minimum for Roth.
Well, on California is $6,000. I don't know in your state or Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
So you might want to take a look or Google it, like traditional IRA contribution limit, 2019. Then it will pop up for you.
Okay.
Okay.
So it varies from state to state, right?
I think so.
Gotcha.
All right, guys.
Well,
Anything else?
Still no Boeing rumors over here in my neck of the woods, other than that 2,000 to 5,000 layoff, but I haven't seen anything about that yet. So since you're talking about watching that one earlier, if I hear anything, I'll let you guys know.
Oh, right. That hasn't been an announcement yet?
No,
about the layoffs?
It's just shop talk right now.
Hey, John, so when there's layoffs, the stock price goes up, right?
Yes. Most of the time, yes.
Pretty likely.
And what company again is this one?
That's Boeing.
Boeing? Yeah.
BA, yeah.
Wow.
So right now here in Renton, it's just a parking lot for all the 737 MAX that they're not going to sell now. So they're not going to build any more because they don't have anywhere to store them.
Yep.
So layoffs are probably going to be there.
But of course, that's just temporary, right? Once it's coming back again, they're going to start hiring more people.
Oh, yeah, they'll dump back in. Boeing has like a 5-year rotation on their layoffs.
Okay.
So 5 years they'll mass hire, then 5 years later they'll lay them all off.
All right. Well, I don't wanna cut the conversation, guys, but I think the Zoom meeting will end it in less than a minute. So we'll get cut off. All right, guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again. We'll talk on the chat.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Later.